quick talk about what you do for closing day. So congratulations, your house is sold. Now, in order to prepare for closing day, one of the biggest pain in the butt parts is actually moving everything out of your house. So whether you get movers or you move it yourself, the most important thing is that it is all out on closing day, the day that you close, unless some sort of arrangements have been made for post-closing occupancy. On the day of closing, your things, every single thing that belongs to you needs to be out of that house. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Unless something is negotiated ahead of time or in the contract that you're going to be leaving it, you cannot leave a couch and say, well, maybe they want it. They do not. And if you feel like they might, then let's talk about it ahead of closing. So nothing in the house, nothing anywhere. And that condition of the house needs to be in the same condition that it was on the day that they did their inspection. So if something has broken or been replaced between the time they did their inspection and closing day, then that needs to be handled ahead of time. Just call me, we'll talk about it. We'll figure out a solution. The condition of the house needs to be also broom-swept. And what that means is free of all of your belongings, and then the dust that is left behind after you move that couch gets swept out. It does not have to be scrubbed down, although those would be really, really nice sellers, because you got to picture yourself moving into a new place and you would love for it to be absolutely clean. So the best sellers are the ones that get all of their stuff out a day or two in advance and either send somebody in to clean it or clean it themselves. And that's the ideal situation. So that's what we want to shoot for. As far as if you have bulk items that are going to be disposed of, like on the street, if bulk pickup day is within a day or two, you can leave those things out as long as they're the right size and whatever the city will take it. But you cannot leave those things if bulk pickup day isn't within a couple of days. You would have to make arrangements for taking those things to the dump or whatever you need to do in order to get those things off the property completely. Another major thing that people often overlook is paint. You cannot leave paint even though you think that it might match. If it's not fresh, usable paint and labeled, then you go ahead and get rid of it with moving all of your things and disposing of everything. So the buyer will come through and do a final walkthrough. And their final walkthrough, they are just going to be looking at the house, making sure it's the same as when they did their inspection. And they might flush the toilets, turn the oven on, those sort of things. You don't necessarily have to be out of the house completely when they do their final walkthrough, although it's just kind of awkward. If you're still in the middle of moving and they're walking through, that's awkward. So it's best to move your things out a couple of days before. And then that final walkthrough will happen for the buyer, and then they'll go to closing and we'll close. You as the seller can sign your documents in advance, a day or two if you'd like, which is usually helpful because moving day is kind of stressful. So we will make an appointment for you to go into the title company and sign your documents, or they might send somebody to you to have you sign the documents. You could just sign them right at home. They'll send a notary to your house. And then on the day of closing, after it happens, the buyer gets to take possession of the house, what's called at funding. So funding happens when all of their funds have been wired over to the title company, and if they have a loan, the lender has wired their funds to the title company. So the title company is holding all the money, and they send the wires out. Once they send the wires out, that's when funding has occurred, and we hand over the keys. So we will make arrangements. Either I will drop the keys off, or we'll put them in a lockbox, or we'll do some sort of something like that. And the buyer can go ahead and take possession. Usually, once funding happens, you get your money within minutes, or sometimes it can take a few hours. By that point, by the time that the buyer is going in and signing the documents, usually you are out of the house already, and the keys are being handed over, and you'll get your money that same day. whatever your whatever bank account you have talked to the title company about will have those funds show up in your account on that day. Congratulations.